Chapter 51, Drained Again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Too familiar. Wang Feng is so familiar with this scene. More than a year ago, Wang Feng awakened the Qinglian martial spirit, opened the first form, and was about to experiment with the effects of the first form of Qinglian. Met this bird, is also lying on the ground, seriously injured and dying. It's just that this little blue bird is much bigger than it was then. However, Wang Feng remembered very clearly that although this little bird was much bigger, the outline of its body had not changed much. Now, 1 year later, Wang Feng came to the grove with a bit of nostalgia, but unexpectedly met this little bird again. Turning his head and looking at Wang Feng, he seemed to be stunned. Then there was a few weak chirps. Wang Feng walked over and looked at the little blue bird. No, it should be the big blue bird. Compared to a year ago, its body is bigger, its feathers are brighter and softer, and its head has a long fleshy crown, which looks like a bag, a bit ugly, but it was indeed the little bird I saved. However, his injuries were serious. The traces of your injury are caused by the soul beast. Wang Feng glanced at the bird and frowned. Based on his experience in fighting various spirit beasts this year, he could almost see at a glance that the injuries suffered by the little bird were caused by spirit beasts. There should be no soul beasts around here. You are a little bit, why would you think of fighting a soul beast? Wang Feng was a little puzzled. An ordinary bird, under normal circumstances, even a trash soul beast, it is a bite problem. Is it impossible to provoke the soul beast by yourself? Wang Feng took a closer look and couldn't help but smile. Hey, should it be hurt by a more carving that has been around for more than 700 years? How dare you? Carved spirit beasts are mostly extremely ferocious, especially those that fly in the sky. It is extremely difficult for a spirit master to deal with it, if there is no long-range attack type soul master, unless you are a very advanced soul master and can fly. Otherwise it will be difficult to deal with. The little bird whimpered a few times, seemingly aggrieved. Could it be that you are also a soul beast? Wang Feng seemed to think of something, looking at the big blue bird who was a little beyond imagination at this time. How can a normal bird grow so big in a year? Did you have any adventures too? Wang Feng's brain was wide open and he was thinking wildly. He secretly said in his heart, or, what golden finger did this little bird get? Or is the person becoming? Crossing became a bird? Thinking of this, Wang Feng suddenly laughed, seeming to be convinced by his own brain. He couldn't help but patted the bird, and said with a smile. If this is the case, brother, then you are really miserable. After laughing and playing, Wang Feng suddenly fell silent, his face a little lonely. He suddenly missed his past life. It's too lonely in this one-person world. The little bird looked at Wang Feng blankly, not knowing what he was talking about. Stop it, I don't understand bird language again. Wang Feng waved his hand, thought for a moment, and sighed. Finally, I really have a relationship with you. Anyway, I am different now from a year ago. Saving you this ordinary bird should not be a problem. Also, I feel like you and I are really destined. Wang Feng said as he released the golden lotus spirit of the first form, slowly urging the power of the spirit to flood into the bird. In an instant, the intense golden light envelopes this little bird. The big blue bird bathed in golden light, screamed with excitement. The injuries on S body are recovering quickly, almost at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the past year, Wang Feng rarely used Qinglian's other abilities. This kind of abnormal healing power consumes a lot of money. Even if Silkong and the others were injured, they just used ordinary ointment, and Wang Feng would not use it. There is also the effect of temporarily raising the spirit power level, and Wang Feng will not use it, but at this time, Wang Feng had no scruples. It was just a little bird and didn't understand anything. With all his strength, Wang Feng felt that the soul power in his body was almost venting like a flood of gates. Fuck, what's the matter? I am much better than a year ago, okay? Wang Feng murmured. The spirit power in his body quickly faded, which surprised Wang Feng. Year ago, even though he had a lot of energy and spirit power in his body because of meteors and tears, after recasting his body, he rebuilt himself one step at a time, compressing his soul power, and now it is almost 20th level. Soul power is several times richer than a year ago, and it is more durable. Like a year ago, it was not a problem to treat more than a dozen dying small animals like birds at one go. Is it possible that this little bird has also become stronger? Wang Feng frowned until only a loss of spirit power remained in his body. This little bird has finally recovered. Drained again. Wang Feng's mouth twitched. Could it be that this kind of cure consumes such a large amount? But fortunately, there are still a few drops. Wang Feng's footsteps were a bit swaying, but he still had a 400 gene weight-bearing protective gear hanging on his body. If his spirit power was gone and he could not control his body, he was afraid that he would return to the village, or he would be able to step on a path with one foot. The big blue bird flew up and hovered over Wang Feng's head, making a happy cry. You are such a terrible little fairy. Wang Feng looked at the blue bird, feeling a little inexplicably. Is also rare to have such a destiny with a little bird. Looking at this little bird, Wang Feng is inexplicably kind. Okay, let's go. Don't get hurt next time. Wang Feng waved to the blue bird, and left. Wang Feng could still hear the blue birds chirping as he walked far away, but Wang Feng didn't know. Soon after he left, the appearance of this blue bird slowly changed more drastically, stayed in the woods for a while, and it was almost dusk. Not long after, Wang Feng walked out of the woods. Brother Feng, you are here. Just in time, come and help me be a witness. On the mountain not far away, it was Tang San and Xiao Wu. What testimony? Wang Feng walked over, his heart moved. I let Xiao Wu be my sister. Tang San said solemnly, I want to have one more family. Feng Gu, my father is gone. You are the person I have the best relationship with in Xuanhuan village. And smarter than me. I want to be here. www.novelmtl.com. Please help me to witness it. Wang Feng glanced at the two of them. It seems that the two of them should have been here just now, and they seem to have exchanged an agreement. They look a little silent on winning streak, and there is a little special feeling in their eyes. No problem. Wang Feng seemed to think of something, and said sternly, then I will be your witness. Now, I need to ask you two questions. The two were taken aback and nodded. Wang Feng laughed, coughed a few times, looked at Tang San first, and said. Little San, you are willing to be Xiao Wu's brother. From now to forever, whether it is prosperity or adversity, wealth or poverty, health or disease, happiness or sorrow, will you cherish her and protect her forever and ever? Heard this, both of them were stunned. They had never heard this particular testimony. I am willing. Tang San said firmly. Wang Feng nodded slightly, looked at Xiao Wu again, and asked. Xiao Wu, you are willing to be Tang San's sister. From now on and forever, whether it is good times or adversity, wealth or poverty, health or disease, happiness or sorrow, will you cherish him and protect him forever and ever? Xiao Wu was said in a daze, but she said solemnly. I would like to. Snapped. Wang Feng clapped his hands and said, okay, from now on, you are husbands. Oh no, you are brothers and sisters. Hearing the words, it seemed that the testimony was very profound, and the two could not help holding their hands and looking at the distant sky. Wang Feng looked at the back of the two, and also looked into the distance. 1 year, it just passed. Chapter 52, Unfortunately, you have no chance to know. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A few months later, soul hunting deep in the forest. A figure jumped down swiftly in the forest. The figure was extremely light, and when it landed on a branch, it only made the branch tremble slightly, did not make any sound. With the figure jumping, as if investigating the surrounding situation, after a while, the figure appeared in the crowd in the distant clearing. There is no large soul beast nearby. 2 kilometers ahead, there is a golden chinchilla that is about 1,000 years old. The figure fell, it was Ling Blade. After speaking, Ling Ren looked at the teammate in front of him, Wang Feng, Silk Rong, Lao Hei, and beyond, there is the employer of this trip, a noble lady, and one of her attendants. The noble lady is named Lin Shan, a noble lady in the capital city of Fastno. Now at level 30, they hire a team to enter the hunting forest and hunt down 1,000-year spirit beasts. The reward is very high, 50 gold soul coins per person. Golden Chinchilla? Wang Feng frowned slightly. This soul beast is very sensitive to odors. We may have been spotted at a distance of 2 kilometers. Wang Feng was wearing a black robe, still wearing a mask, and his voice was slightly cold. At this time, he has reached level 20, to be precise. After spending the new year in the Holy Spirit Village and returning to Notting College, he reached level 20. After reaching level 20, Wang Feng has spent the past few days in the hunting forest, looking for a soul beast suitable for the second spirit ring alone. However, I haven't found my favorite soul beast, so I paused the search and took the job of employment with the 3 of Silk Roam first, and waited for a while. It was discovered by the Golden Chinchilla. If you rest at night, you are very likely to be attacked by a soul beast. Wang Feng continued, this is the depths again, and no one knows if there will be a soul beast with a higher level of cultivation. It is recommended to leave the deep position temporarily. Set up camp outside and rest for one night. Si Rong nodded when she heard Wang Feng's words, and couldn't help but glance at Wang Feng. More than a year, this child has matured. Although he did not disclose his actual age, Silk sometimes feels that Xiao Mie should be at least 15 or 6 years old, and sometimes is more alert and smarter than her. The more I get along, the more I feel this way. Of course, Silk does not know that Wang Feng is just over 7 years old. No. Just rest here, otherwise it will take too much time. I will go back tomorrow. At this time, the noble Lady Lin Shan behind said with a slightly sharp voice. Hearing this, Wang Feng frowned slightly, and looked at Lin Shan and her servant who was wearing a black long coat next to her, covering her figure. This aristocratic lady, she was generous, hunting down the 1,000-year soul beast, and one person had 50 gold soul coins. If not for the 4 of them are relatively well-known teams, they really can't accept this commission. After a year of fighting, Silk Rong, Lao He, and Ling Blade have all reached level 32, and Silk Rong has reached level 33, all possessed the 3rd spirit ring. However, Wang Feng's own spirit ring was definitely intended to be found by himself, and would not be with the 3 of them. Is only the amount of gold soul coins entrusted this time. It is really high, and there is no suitable soul beast for the time being. Only then did Wang Feng and Si Rong accept this entrustment. She is the gold master, listen to her. Si Rong looked at the sky, but did not refuse. It would take a lot of time to get out of the soul hunting forest at this time. That's okay. Wang Feng nodded. So the 4 of them camped on the spot and ate the prepared dry food. Xiao Mie, you should be approaching level 20, right? Old He whispered while eating the prepared dry bread. When the time comes, we will help you hunt the soul beast. You are so strong, it feels like a spirit ring for nearly 2,000 years, you should be able to bear it. Wang Feng laughed a few times and said, let's talk about it then. The 3 didn't know that Wang Feng had reached level 20. That's okay. By the way, Lao He, what do you think is the strength of this old servant of Lin Shan? Wang Feng asked casually. It should be about the same as us. Old He shook his head. Whatever he does. Anyway, our employer is this noble lady. Wang Feng smiled, but I feel a little weird in my heart. This noble lady Lin Shan and the old servant next to him are a bit strange. But Wang Feng couldn't tell. Wang Feng guessed that the old servant beside Lin Shan might be much stronger than the 3 of Silk Rong, may have a strength of about 40 level. But the strange thing is here, if this old servant has more than 40 levels, it stands to reason that there is no need to hire them to hunt down soul beasts, give such a high spirit gold coin. Is it for insurance? Over the past year, Wang Feng and Silk Rong have received many commissions to hunt down soul beasts. There are also many commissions from some noble children. Even with servants, there is nothing like this. More than 40 level spirit masters are enough to have the ability to kill 1,000-year spirit beasts, not to mention the kind of 3,000 or 4,000 years. But if it is for insurance, it makes sense. With doubts, Wang Feng walked into the erected tent and practiced meditation. Although the soul power reached the bottleneck and the soul power could not be improved, this seemed to have become a habit. The bright moon is high, the silent night, quietly, suddenly. A scream suddenly sounded. As soon as sounded, Wang Feng suddenly opened his eyes and rushed out. I only saw 2 people lying outside the tent, and the screams came from their mouths. Old Black, Ling Blade, looking at the two, Wang Feng's pupils shrank suddenly, the hands of the 2 men seemed to be cut off by a sharp weapon. What's even stranger is that the 2 men seemed to have just awakened from their sleep. At this time, there was still a dazed panic on their faces. Beside the 2 of them, there stood an old servant and the noble lady Lin Shan. Behind Lin Shan, Silk Roan was restrained, as if she had just woke up. Her face was a little frightened. I don't know what happened. You did it. A ball of flame burned in Wang Feng's heart, like a volcano about to erupt, his chest undulating. Teacher Mo, why doesn't he seem to be affected by your spirit skills? However, the noble lady Lin Shan did not answer, but frowned and looked at Wang Feng, seemingly puzzled. Impossible. Teacher Mo also looked at Wang Feng a little strangely. This kid is just an auxiliary soul master. My soul skills, nightmare, can temporarily deprive people in sleep of consciousness and senses, unless his level is higher than mine, but these 3 people are only more than 30 levels, this kid is just a soul-recovering master, who can kill more than 20 levels. It is impossible to be immune to my nightmare. However, if he is not asleep, my nightmare will not work. Hearing this, Lin Shan couldn't help but sighed and looked at Wang Feng, a little speechless. Boy, how lucky are you? You didn't even fall asleep. Wang Feng looked at the 2 men coldly, walked to Lao He and Ling Ren, looked at the 2 men in pain at the moment, and cursed himself for being a fool. These 2 people, he felt something was wrong, and he had known that he should directly terminate the commission early. Wang Feng removed the dagger next to Ling Blade, stood up, and looked at Lin Shan and the old servant coldly. The killing intent bred by anger in his heart began to spread. Xiao Mie, run away, he is a soul sect with 4 spirit rings. And his spirit skills are very weird. I was just in the night watch and only took a nap. Took my hands. Ling Blade gritted his teeth and said these words intermittently before passing out. 4 people fought for more than a year and received many commissions. I didn't expect to be planted here today. Quick, escape. The old black pupil contracted for a while and passed out. Wang Feng clenched his hands and wanted to use the Golden Lotus. The Golden Lotus with the healing ability must be able to treat the situation of the 2 at this time, but this would put himself in a dangerous state without spirit power. Boy, don't you still want to do something to us? Lin Shan watched Wang Feng pick up the dagger, and couldn't help but feel amused. Don't struggle, you are an auxiliary soul master, no matter how strong you are, you can't beat Teacher Mo. Obediently follow us. Finished, the old servant beside Lin Shan suddenly exudes a powerful aura. The 4 spirit rings rose from the feet of the old servant, yellow, yellow, purple, purple. Xiao Mie. Run first. These 2 people will not hurt our lives for the time being. I am afraid they want to take us to feed the spirit beasts. Surong shouted from behind, you run away first, if he dares to chase, he won't care about us. Heard this, Wang Feng suddenly returned to his senses, and finally understood the purpose of these 2 people. In a certain commission before, they had heard people say that some nobles specially raised specific soul beasts in the hunting forest and hunted them after they had been cultivated for a certain number of years. But the training cycle of soul beasts is very long. If there is no special method, it can't be cultivated at all. Later, there was a way of eating beasts with human beings, which gradually became popular in some noble circles. It was to use low-level spirit masters to feed the spirit beasts, allowing the spirit beasts to break through to a certain age. This cruel cultivation method is extremely rare. At that time, the 4 of them sounded a little absurd, but Wang Feng also felt a little frightened and didn't care too much. Unexpectedly, I really met. Huh, what do you know? Lin Shan sneered, I was in a few teams, and I caught you, just because you 4 are the strongest, but not too strong, just in time for Huang to break through. That kid, I advise you not to struggle anymore. If you take refuge in me, I can spare your life. The 3 of them should be enough for Huang to break through to 1,000 years. You should be redundant. Lin Shan looked at Wang Feng with a smile. Although she was born quite beautiful, with excellent genes inherited from aristocratic families, at this time, that still beautiful face gave people a viciousness like a scorpion. After finishing speaking, Lin Shan slapped Silk Roan on the neck and fainted. "Young man, don't try hard." www.novelmtl.com. The old servant said lightly, "Don't say you are a 20th level auxiliary soul master, even if you are a 40th level auxiliary soul master, the old man's killing is just a thought. Things between. The young lady is right. If you take refuge in us, you can still save your life." Ha ha. Wang Feng sneered, "Lin Shan's words are all bullshit, and there is no one true. I just want to keep myself from running away." Wang Feng didn't speak, but just lit up the golden lotus. Glowing bursts of light, enveloping Ling Ren and Old Black, prevents the two of them from dying due to excessive pain and blood loss, but just protects their hearts. Almost in the blink of an eye, the blood from the arms of the two of them coagulated, and their injuries recovered extremely quickly. But did not wake up, seems to be in a coma. Seeing this, Lin Shan and the old servant had brilliant eyes and looked at Wang Feng in horror. "Boy, your martial soul, it seems, can not only be used to restore soul power." Lin Shan looked at Wang Feng in shock, with a strange light in her eyes. "Unexpectedly, it can heal the injury. Moreover, this effect is so outstanding. Teacher Mo, have you ever seen this kind of martial arts?" The old servant also looked at Wang Feng in shock. He has seen a few soul masters with more than 40 levels of dignity, but most of them heal minor injuries. Such severe injuries are difficult to recover quickly, almost none. Can this little ghost's martial arts soul be able to heal this kind of injury quickly? No, there are more outstanding ones. Wang Feng looked at the two of them, took a deep breath, expressionless, only killing intent in his eyes. "It's a pity that you have no chance to know." The voice fell, and a deep purple spirit ring slowly rose from his feet. Chapter 53, The Second Form, The Red Lotus Burns the World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Feng's body trembled because of his anger, and the purple spirit ring slowly rose from the soles of his feet. "I have to admit that I still underestimated the world. There are many soul beasts, martial souls, and soul skills are beyond my imagination." Over the past year, his strength has been steadily improved, and he has become more adept at fighting spirit beasts, and he knows more. Coupled with his hidden strength, Wang Feng has a bit of confidence. After more than a year of going smoothly, Wang Feng never thought that such a thing would happen today. Lao He, Ling Blade, and Silk Roan have fought side by side for more than a year. Although he didn't fully reveal their strength to them, they also had excellent friendship. This year, Wang Feng knew that there was a wife and a 5-year-old child in Lao He's family. He should participate in Wuhuan Awakening next year. The money he usually earns is given to his wife for safekeeping, and the family is happy, although Ling Run likes to talk flowers. But in a certain city north of the Heaven Do Empire, a childhood sweetheart who has been in love for 6 years is studying at the Advanced Soul Master Academy, and his talent is not bad. Most of the gold soul coins he earns will be sent to this lover. Silk Roan came from the city of Barak in the Principality of Barak in the Heaven Do Empire. She was originally a student of the Senior Soul Master Academy in the city. Because she accidentally provokes a senior student with a deep background in the college, she just entered school. He was dropped out of school in advance by the Senior Soul Master Academy, was also scratched with a knife mark on her face, destroying the original appearance. When she was dropped out of school, Silk Roan did not even go to the healing spirit masters for help, because no one dared to help him. Later, without timely treatment, the scars on his face were difficult to remove. After wandering for a while, came to the province of Fasno. The three of them, Wang Feng knows their situation and many past events. Most of these things were told by the three of them lying on the grass in the hunting forest, looking at the sky, or while they were tired, or laughing at themselves after the battle. At this moment, Wang Feng didn't expect that in a blink of an eye, Ling Ren and Lao He had already had their hands amputated and lying on the ground. Even if they were rescued, their hands would be difficult to recover. The only thing that is fairly good is Silk Roan. Obviously, because she is a controlling spirit master, the two of them didn't take it seriously. Just bound it. I still underestimate the world. Wang Feng looked at the two in front of him, his eyes grew colder. These three people are all living people, and they have also been partners for the past year. Even if they hide something, they regard them as friends in their hearts. Maybe I feel like a traveler, and I have seen Douluo continent. I know a lot about the stories inside, and I have a natural sense of superiority, seems to know everything. However, in fact, I may remember the main story characters clearly, but when I was truly in this world, I didn't know anything about the characters and stories other than Tang San's protagonist. Just like now, the 40-odd level soul sect opposite, he didn't know anything. He just knew that the other party did it with spirit skills. 1,000-year spirit ring? How could it be possible, Teacher Mo? How could he have a 1,000-year spirit ring if he is a 20th level auxiliary spirit master? When seeing the spirit ring on Wang Feng's body at this moment, Lin Shan was really stunned. The 1,000-year spirit ring appeared on the soul sect of more than 40 levels, which was normal, but how could it appear on a 20-level spirit master? Boy, who are you? The old servant looked at Wang Feng and frowned slightly. The first spirit ring is 1,000 years old. I have never seen such a person. But what's the use? The moment S words fell, he seemed extremely disdainful, but he suddenly shot. The old servant gave a soft drink, flipped his palm, and an oil lamp-like martial spirit appeared. It's just that the flame burning in the central wick of the oil lamp is a white flame, very strange. Is it? Wang Feng sneered. With the blessing of soul power, he felt that his whole body was full of power. The next moment, Wang Feng rushed directly towards the old servant, and the short sword in his hand rotated in a circle, glowing with cold light under the bright moonlight. Speed, fleeting in the blink of an eye. Fast speed. Unfortunately, I happen to be your nemesis. The old servant was shocked. This is not the speed that an auxiliary soul master can have. However, even if he was surprised again, the old servant did not panic. The spirit ring on his body became more and more shining. Soul skill, shining. The spell was pronounced. In an instant, the oil lamp martial soul in the hands of the old servant was brilliantly brilliant. The white flame became extremely shiny, almost shining the night like day. Almost all the surrounding scenery has become a white world. Wang Feng's figure stopped abruptly. Because of his sight, the same is true, and there is no sight around him. Very powerful soul skills. Wang Feng's eyes were nothing but white, and he became vigilant. At this time, a white fireball suddenly came from behind, as if blending into the white space, quietly smashing it. Silent and silent, Wang Feng seemed to have eyes behind his back. On one side of his body, this white fireball passed by Wang Feng. The hot breath burned Wang Feng's skin and felt extremely hot. After that, dozens of white fireballs attacked Wang Feng in this white world. The light was too bright and too dazzling. The soul master was inside, so he could only close his eyes. Even if he opened it, nothing could be seen, can only rely on pure reaction. However, no matter how many of these fireballs, Wang Feng still avoided them all. Almost every one passed by. The temperature of these fireballs is extremely high, and even Wang Feng would not use his body to fight hard. Although his physical body has become very strong after recasting and training over the past year, this flame is not an ordinary flame. Ha ha ha, kid, do you feel hopeless? The voice of the old servant came all around, making it hard to tell the direction. My spirit ability, glory, can make you lose your sight, and can slowly torture you to death. Your little ghost is extraordinary. Your speed is not like an auxiliary spirit master, and presumably your strength will not be inferior too much. You have 1,000-year soul without death. I must have very strong physical fitness. I won't let you get close to me. The cunning voice of the old servant sounded, echoing all around. Unable to judge, seems to be close to my eyes, and it seems to be 1,000 meters away. I have to say, this old servant is really cunning. Almost when Wang Feng lights up his spirit ring and rushes towards him, he has already analyzed a lot of information, without any care. Although Wang Feng has strong eyesight, he can see clearly even mosquitoes hundreds of meters away, but at this time, in this white world, he has lost his eyesight, and his eyesight is useless. If he were to be replaced by a 40-level war spirit master of the same level, he would have been tortured to death at this moment. Wang Feng closed his eyes, expressionless, while relying on his physical fitness to avoid attacks from all angles. He was thinking about countermeasures. This soul sect is obviously not simple, is not an ordinary soul sect. He has extremely strong control ability, and even has a very powerful long-range attack ability, is indeed a nemesis to many spirit war masters, is Wang Feng's melee strength, unable to display it, this soul sect, perhaps the overall strength is not stronger than those thousand-year soul beasts, but it is more difficult to deal with. Wang Feng moved around, but no matter how he moved, he couldn't get rid of the range of the opponent's brilliance. It seemed that he was also moving with him, and the other side, the old servant in the dark can clearly perceive the actions of Wang Feng trapped by the light. This kid is really extraordinary. Even if he loses his vision, he can dodge my white fireball with pure combat intuition and reaction speed. The old servant murmured, this is a 40-level agility type war spirit master, and it may not be able to do it so perfectly. Just as he spoke, there were hundreds of fireballs attacking Wang Feng, more and more. This kid is probably not easy, miss, we can't keep his life. The old servant said in a deep voice, he still kept the means. Lin Shan on the side of wears a special blindfold, and seems to be able to see the glorious scene. Then kill it to avoid trouble. The first spirit ring is 1,000 years old. It hasn't died yet. It is impossible for ordinary people to have such a strong physical quality. He is afraid that there is a big power behind him, now offend him, there is no possibility of recovery. Lin Shan said very decisively, she felt the killing intent in Wang Feng's eyes just now. It is good. The old servant said solemnly, and the 1,000-year spirit ring on his body suddenly brightened. Soul skills, the sky is full of fire, that the words are over. I saw countless flames in the vast white space, burning them frantically, southeast, northwest, the sky and the ground, all are flames, slowly moving towards Wang Feng's position, slowly shrinking closer. The white flame, with the scorching temperature, burned the space like hot. What a powerful soul sect. Wang Feng stood on the spot, his eyes closed tightly, and the burning sensation around him made him feel the crisis, after all, is a more than 40-level soul sect, rich in experience and cunning. It is not comparable to ordinary soul sections. If I haven't reached level 20, I'm afraid I can't deal with you. I can only consume it slowly, this flame will only hurt me. Wang Feng took a deep breath, what a pity, I'm already at level 20, Qinglian Wuhuan also gave birth to a second form. The hot white flames all around quickly spread and approached, but Wang Feng opened his palms and shook slightly. In an instant, the second lotus seed among the 4 lotus seeds of Qinglian, Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com blooms quietly. This lotus flower is not golden, but very bright red. Red like blood. 12 Great Industry Red Lotus. Wang Feng looked at this red lotus, his soul power quickly moved, the second form of was when he reached level 20 not long ago, he had transported all his spirit power to barely make Qinglian's second lotus seed bloom, is now the second form. Flame. A sneer appeared at the corner of Wang Feng's mouth, under this red lotus industry fire, all the fire in the world is my younger brother. Give it to me. Hong Lian's ability, Wang Feng has not fully dug out yet, but, at this moment, it's just time to test its ability, as he said, the red lotus in Wang Feng's hand was full of hot light, and the dazzling rainbow light almost turned into a set of sky-reaching flame pillars, breaking through the shining white world, and rushing straight to the sky with clouds, countless white flames all around, like a funnel, leaked towards the red lotus in the center of Wang Feng's palm. Almost in the blink of an eye. The white flame like a sea of flames was completely absorbed. At the same time, a subtle and quintessential energy feeds back into Wang Feng's body from the red lotus. Its soul power. Can it absorb flames and transform it into pure soul power? Wang Feng was startled. Unfortunately, I don't have a spirit ring now, so my spirit power cannot be improved. The second form of the red lotus, he has never had the opportunity to experiment, but now he has finally tapped its abilities. With the flames scattered. A faint flame also appeared on Wang Feng's body, covering his whole body. Seen from a distance, Leica of war bathed in flames, can burn everything in the world. Chapter 54, Who has God spared? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Feng stepped out, and the shining light around was also swallowed by the red lotus. The surrounding scenes are restored as before. At the same time, he also saw Lin Shan and the old man of the soul sect in the distance. At this time, the two of them also looked at Wang Feng in horror, with endless shock in their eyes. How is it possible? How could he not die? That the old servant murmured in disbelief. How did he get out of Guanyao? Could it be that Guanyao was broken by him? It is absolutely impossible. How could he break my glory by a 20-level auxiliary soul master? Lin Shan looked at Wang Feng, who was walking in the distance with bright red flames all over, and was so scared that she couldn't even speak. At this moment, Wang Feng, just the momentum of the whole body, can make people timid without fighting. Is it martial soul? Lin Shan trembled. He seems to have a flower in his hand. No, I remember his martial soul is like a small golden flower, which can restore spirit power to those three guys. How now? That the old servant also remembered, but at this time, how did the martial soul in this little ghost's hand turn into a red flower? Twin spirits. The old servant was inexplicably horrified. Can twin martial arts souls, not like that? How is the shape so similar? This soul sect who has lived for more than 50 years has never seen such a strange martial soul. Teacher Mo, what should I do? Lin Shan trembled, the old servant's face sank, he took a deep breath, and said coldly again. Soul skills, glory. In the palm of the lamp oil and the wick, the white flame rose again and burned violently, emitting a violent white light, as if to cover the world. However, this time, the fierce white light was instantly swallowed by the hot scarlet red lotus before it completely wrapped Wang Feng. Break all falsehoods. You have no chance. Wang Feng took a deep breath, step by step, and walked to the old servant. At this moment, seeing Wang Feng, who was like a rainbow, walked slowly, the two of them were completely stunned. This more than 40-level soul sect belongs to a long-range soul master, who has both control and strong attack, but obviously, his physical fitness is not strong. At this moment, all his soul abilities have absolutely no effect on Wang Feng. Wang Feng's palm changed, and a flame was condensed through the red lotus, placed in the palm, and flicked with his fingers. The flame fell on the old servant. This is a special flame that Qinglian condenses, and only one strand consumes most of Wang Feng's soul power. However, I saw that old servant suddenly opened his mouth, as if he wanted to howl in pain, but couldn't even make a sound. The moment that a ray of flame the size of a fingernail fell on him, it suddenly burned as if it had encountered dry wood. The scarlet flame seems to burn away the sins of the world, almost in the blink of an eye. The old servant disappeared. Is a complete disappearance. There is no dust. That ray of flame finally returned to the red lotus rosette, faintly burning, looking like it was going to be extinguished at any time. Lin Shan on the side of was frightened suddenly. 41-level soul sect. Just gone. Quietly. What the is that? Lin Shan has endless fear in her mind. Among the four, the youngest kid, the two thought it was the best to deal with, because he was only replying to the soul master, but he didn't expect, turned out to be the most powerful and perverted of the four of them. Don't kill me. Lin Shan knelt down, begging for mercy with horror on her face. Don't kill you, Wang Feng said lightly, give me a reason not to kill you. Lin Shan's mind turned quickly, as if thinking of something, she trembled and said. You should be at level 20, haven't you found a suitable spirit ring? I will dedicate the 1000-year spirit beast raised in our family to you. I will bring you. There should be several 1000-year spirit beasts around it. With your strength, those 1000-year soul beasts are definitely not your opponent. Hearing this, Wang Feng glanced at her with a faint smile and said. Really? Then you take me to see, if there is a suitable soul beast, rest assured, my flame will never fall on you. Hearing this, Lin Shan's face suddenly showed a hint of joy. Then you follow me. Said, Lin Shan walked ahead. Wang Feng glanced at Ling Ren and Lao He, who had stabilized their injuries, and Silk Rong, presumably, the three should wake up soon, just in case. Wang Feng turned his palm to switch to the first form of Golden Lotus, imposing a state of deification on the three of them, and temporarily boosting their spirit power to make them stronger, so as not to provoke some spirit beasts. After doing all this, Wang Feng followed Lin Shan and slowly walked deeper, walked for less than an hour. Lin Shan stopped, she suddenly whistled, and whispered, "Here, I'll call it out." Followed the whistle. In the distance, there was a sudden sound of earthquakes, as if some giant came by. This breath. Wang Feng was startled slightly. It seems that it is not an ordinary 1,000-year soul beast. Is it a 1,000-year soul beast? The soul hunting forest here is a more advanced soul hunting forest with 10,000-year soul beasts inside, but very rarely. Wang Feng also never thought that the second spirit ring would be Wannian, and in the plan, the third one would be Wannian. Moreover, in his current state, if he absorbs the 10,000-year spirit ring, he might really die, because of the huge spirit power brought by the 10,000 years spirit ring. I am afraid that it will instantly explode, and the Meteor Tears will not even have time to recast. The 6,000 years ago was enough abnormal, almost killed Wang Feng, but fortunately he did not directly explode and died, but slowly destroyed his body, leaving Meteor Tears with time to recast. If it were stronger, for 7,000 years, Wang Feng would probably explode and die instantly. Another reason is that even if one's current body can barely bear it and not die instantly, but because of the recasting of the body, the soul power that has been hard to cultivate in his body will disappear. You need to know that when absorbing 6,000 years of spirit ring, because the body slowly collapsed, all the spirit power originally stored in the body was gone. Wang Feng didn't want to do this every time. Every time he absorbed the spirit ring, his body was recast once, and then he had to cultivate his spirit power again. Too difficult. There is another reason. It can't beat the 10,000-year soul beast. It was good luck before. Wang Feng couldn't beat the 6,000-year-old soul beast at all. Even now Wang Feng, with all his strength, it is possible to defeat the 6,000-year Golden Thunder Leopard, 10,000-year soul beast. The first six-ringed soul emperor is equivalent to more than 60 levels of human beings. Wang Feng is only at level 20th, only one soul ring. Even if he has the Red Lotus at this time, it is impossible to beat the 10,000-year soul beast. Therefore, Wang Feng didn't make a second spirit ring. It was Wannian's plan, and he had thought deeply about it. Luck, there is the first time, there is no second time. Therefore, Wang Feng's goal is to put it in the range of 8,000 to 9,000 years. It will be much easier to absorb it, not like the first time. With the second form of Duran, it also has the power of a battle. Roar. A violent roar came. There seemed to be an extremely cold aura in this roar. The surrounding temperature dropped tens of degrees instantly. Wang Feng couldn't help but look at the soul beast in the distance. His eyes condensed slightly, and he couldn't help taking a deep breath. It was a huge sky-blue lizard, more than 10 meters high, with a pair of fleshy wings, and covered with light blue ice. It was fierce and vicious. In the roar, there was a light black spirit power www.novelmtl. Calm bloomed slightly. Really a 10,000-year soul beast. Wang Feng muttered with his eyes condensed. At this time, Lin Shan on the side suddenly laughed. Ha ha ha, kid, did you get it? This 10,000-year soul beast, the Ice Emperor Lizard, is a 10,000-year soul beast raised by our family. We are here only to bring him food. Wang Feng looked at her lightly. Lin Shan looked back a few steps by Wang Feng's eyes, but looked at the huge soul beast in the distance, and she felt a sense of confidence in her heart, and she couldn't help but say in a deep voice, "It is already a 10,000-year soul beast. Boy, if you dare to kill me, you can't live by yourself." Hear the words. Wang Feng smiled. At this time, the Ice King Lizard walked towards the two of them, and a stream of frost spewed from his nose, until the old trees around turned into snow trees. It looked at the two in its eyes, bloodshot, rich bloodshot. Wang Feng also saw that the abdomen of this Ice King Lizard had an opening, and there was a deep wound, but it was frozen. Your family raised it? Wang Feng laughed loudly. You are so stupid. Do you think you can order this 10,000-year soul beast now? Stupid, do you know that you are only food in its eyes? You know, I won, it's not enough for it. While talking, Wang Feng suddenly walked up to Lin Shan, lifted her shoulder, and threw it directly at the Ice King Lizard. Good and evil will eventually be repaid, and the way of heaven is reincarnation. If you don't believe it, look up, who will God spare? Kill you? I think my hands are dirty. If you let this soul beast raised by your family, eat you. In mid-air, Lin Shan fell at the feet of the Binjia Emperor Lizard, her head blank. Chapter 55, Tianlin Flame Poison. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Shan, who was thrown over, was stunned. Binjia Emperor Lizard stared at her with eyes as big as a lantern, with a look she was very familiar with, as if to enjoy the eyes of prey. This kind of look was what she had seen before when she threw other spirit masters to this Ice King Lizard. Unexpectedly, it was my turn. You can't kill me, you will have no food in the future. Lin Shan screamed. Also, your child, if you don't want your child to die and become a spirit ring, you better listen to us honestly. In the desperate situation, the fear of death caused Lin Shan to scream. Heard this, the killing intent in the eyes of Binjia Emperor Lizard was even worse. It opened its mouth towards Lin Shan and roared. The sticky saliva made Lin Shan all over her body, but it didn't eat Lin Shan. Children. Wang Feng narrowed his eyes. It is no wonder that Lin Shan's family dared to raise 10,000-year soul beasts in the hunting forest, fearing that it was not a breeding, but a threat. Wannian soul beast already has real intelligence. Go, kill him. Lin Shan wiped off her smelly saliva, pointed at Wang Feng, and said solemnly, Binjia Emperorly, you should be very smart. Your child's life is in our hands. If you don't want your child to die, just kill me. If you don't have him, otherwise, the Tianlin flame poison in your child will not live for a month without our antidote. Words seemed to anger this 10,000-year soul beast Icea Emperor Lizard. It madly opened its blood bowl towards Lin Shan, screaming, as if it would eat Lin Shan the next moment. Lin Shan's face was pale and colorless, but she decided not to say a word. Not long after, the Binjia Emperor Lizard turned around and walked towards Wang Feng, his eyes cold and full of killing intent. I didn't expect it, kid. It really wants to eat me like food. Lin Shan stood up, took a deep breath, and said coldly, unfortunately, you are clever. Do you think our family has a 10,000-year soul beast? Doesn't it have its handle? Do you think I will just bring you here without any preparation? After finishing speaking, Lin Shan looked at Wang Feng faintly, with a confident smile on her face. Wang Feng clapped and said, it seems that you are not an idiot. But what? I want to ask for mercy now. It's too late. Lin Shan sneered, when you came with me, you were doomed to have a dead end. Is it? Wang Feng looked at the flying Binjia Emperor Lizard, and suddenly said loudly, wait, if your child is really infected with the Tianlin flame poison, I can help you heal your child without them giving you the antidote. The moment the voice fell, Lin Shan was stunned. The Binjia Emperor Lizard also stunned and stopped in midair. It can understand human language. You are subject to them. They will not be able to fully recover your child. They will only threaten you with your child all the time. Wang Feng said slowly, but I can save your child completely. After finishing talking, Wang Feng fixedly looked at the Binjia Emperor Lizard. Seeing this, now Lin Shan seemed to panic, and suddenly shouted, it's extremely ridiculous. The Tianlin flame poison is a 30,000-year soul beast, and the extremely poison produced by the Tianlin flame floodwater is so weak that it is impossible to solve it. Do you believe him? If he kills your child, Binjia Emperor Lizard, don't regret it then. A few years ago, a 53rd level soul king in the Lin Shan family, by chance, encountered a cub of the Ice King Lizard in this soul hunting forest. Dang even gave this cub the Tianlin flame poison that was purchased at a high price from outside. This Tianlin yen poison is the nemesis of this ice-type soul beast, and it threatens to drive this Ice Emperor Lizard to hunt down the soul beasts in the forest for the descendants of the family to absorb. Boy, I advise you not to be delusional. Why do you make it believe you? Who do you think you are? Lin Shan said calmly again, yeah, why? Binjia Emperor Lizard looked at Wang Feng and seemed to be asking. Try the head office. Wang Feng said lightly, if it doesn't work, it's not too late for you to eat me. However, the Binjie Emperor Lizard did not move. Seeing this, Lin Shan finally breathed a sigh of relief and sneered, "Boy, it's impossible, the Binjie Emperor Lizard can't believe you. At least here, his child's life is guaranteed." At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in the distance. This figure ran to the Binjie Emperor Lizard and made a few cooing sounds. After a while, the Binjie Emperor Lizard fell from the air, the killing intent in his eyes receded a bit, turned to look at Lin Shan. Immediately, Lin Shan was stunned, and said solemnly, "Do you really want to believe him?" "Why?" Lin Shan looked at the figure that suddenly ran out, her mind full of doubts. It was a star moon fox, which seemed to be more than 3,000 years old, depending on its size. Not surprisingly, it should be the friend of this Ice King Lizard. At this time, Lin Shan looked at the Xingyue fox, ran to the boy, and yelled cordially. Seeing this scene, Lin Shan's face suddenly sank. "It's you." Wang Feng looked at the figure that suddenly appeared, and couldn't help being surprised. "This Xingyue fox is exactly the one I encountered when I got my first spirit ring. Just, why does it appear here? The hunting forest here is not the hunting forest 400 miles outside Notting City www.novelmtl.com but a more advanced hunting forest. Is it difficult because the strength has increased? Has the land moved?" Xingyue fox called Wang Feng several times. "You mean, did it agree? She is your boss. You came to this forest of hunting souls just to recover and heal her children? That's how?" Wang Feng looked at the Binjie Emperor Lizard, his heart relaxed. If this Binjie Emperor Lizard didn't believe it, he could only choose to escape temporarily. There is a relationship in the soul beast. It is really easy to do things. At this time, the Binjie Emperor Lizard suddenly roared, and the ice-sealed opening in its belly suddenly cracked. A scent of scorching heat radiated from inside. I saw a cub of the Ice Emperor Lizard about 2 meters high, falling out of its belly. The cub was completely red and the temperature was extremely high. At this time, it fell on the ground, but did not have the strength to stand up, just whispered softly. Seeing this, Wang Feng's eyes condensed slightly. No wonder, this Binjie Emperor Lizard feels something wrong with its aura. Although its soul power is red, it is very weak. It must be using its own power to suppress the toxins in it for its cubs, and its strength has declined somewhat. Right? Wang Feng glanced from a distance, felt a hot breath coming from the cub, but Wang Feng showed a smile. "You will never cure this cub." Seeing that smile, Lin Shan panicked even more. She stepped back and said angrily, "The violent poison produced by 30,000 spirit beasts is the most known poison against ice-type spirit beasts. Even the antidote we deploy can only be suppressed. Unless the Tianlin Flame Flood Dragon comes in person, can it absorb the inflammation. Poison." Chapter 56, Significant Wannian Spirit Ring. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Ice Emperor Lizard has been staring at her. If this kid is really cured, she will definitely die. Wang Feng glanced at her, as if looking at a dead person. Xingyue fox took Wang Feng and walked to the cub's side. Looking closely, Wang Feng smiled again. This smile not only made Lin Shan more panicked, but also began to chill behind her back. "Tsk tut, it's a pity, it's a pity." Wang Feng said with a smile, "It's a pity. If it's other poisons, I might not be able to completely unravel it, but this poison, just so I can completely unravel it." Yes, if it is other toxins, Wang Feng can only use Qinglian's healing power to try to suppress the toxicity, but it is impossible to fully recover. But, this is toxic. What do you mean? Lin Shan asked blankly, but the next moment, she will understand. I saw Wang Feng's palm spread out, and a very hot red lotus appeared in his hand. As soon as this red lotus appeared, the Binjie Emperor Lizard took a few steps back abruptly. A trace of fear appeared in his eyes. Is the Xingyue fox, also yelling twice, backing back again and again, as if there is a natural fear in his eyes. "Close!" Wang Feng spurred Qinglian with his spirit power, and the light was brilliant. An extremely terrifying breath radiated from the red lotus. I saw the cub of the Binjie Emperor Lizard, which was all red, suddenly howling in pain. A ray of red-hot light suddenly floated out of the baby's body. He was slowly sucked into the red lotus in Wang Feng's hands, turned into a stream of pure energy. supplementing Wang Feng's soul power, the scarlet traces on the cubs of Binjia Emperor Lizard disappeared completely in a few blinks. It's so cool. Wang Feng exhaled, just igniting a ray of flames from Qinglian, extinguishing the old servant, making most of his spirit power disappear. At this time, after absorbing the poison from the cub's body, the spirit power was directly restored to full. This red lotus, as long as it is related to flames, almost can be absorbed. The white flames that the old servant had set before, and the white light emitted by the flames, were almost instantly absorbed by the red lotus, and the flames that were spawned were very terrifying, as if even the soul could burn. At this time, the young Binjia Emperor Lizard slowly opened his eyes. Although his body was still very weak, it seemed to be awake. Poison completely disappeared. Seeing this scene, a few pairs of eyes suddenly stunned. This is the poison of the 30,000-year soul beast. How could it be cured so easily? Lin Shan sat on the ground, completely stupid, only endless despair in her eyes. How did this happen? What is this little ghost's martial arts? The Xingyue fox looked at Wang Feng with great curiosity. In his memory, it remembered the savior and used a small golden flower to save it. Unexpectedly, now it turns red again. Wudut, the cub of Binjia Emperor Lizard, stood up and let out a few weak calls. At the same time, the Binjia Emperor Lizard slammed down, and its momentum was greatly vented. It looked at the Binjia Emperor Lizard, and its eyes were full of tears at this moment. As its body fell down, a cold air pressed towards the surrounding cover. Wang Feng frowned slightly. The aura of this Ice Emperor Lizard became weaker. The cub hurried to its side, next to the head of the Binjia Emperor Lizard, whining. Xingyue fox also walked over, exchanged eyes with the Binjia Emperor Lizard, and then walked to Wang Feng. Xingyue fox called to Wang Feng several times, although he didn't understand animal language. The cry of Xingyue fox seemed to be a strange spiritual transmission, and Wang Feng instantly moved its meaning. You mean, this Ice King Lizard is not working anymore? Because it relieves the pain caused by inflammation and poison for the cubs all the year round, the strength is too much, and even the lifespan is almost exhausted? Wang Feng was startled. It turned out that the Ice King Lizard kept the cub in his body to relieve the cub's pain. It's no wonder that the scar is obviously not big. With the strength of the Binjia Emperor Lizard, it should be easy to recover, but it did not recover, just condensed with ice. I'm afraid that I have been putting the cub in the body all these years, using my own strength to unravel the inflammation on the cub's body, but it can only relieve the pain, but can't unravel it. Xingyue fox nodded, and continued to call again. How many months are left? This time, it intends to catch Lin Shan, and then use its last strength to avenge him. Wang Feng glanced at Lin Shan. Xingyue fox continued to call again, and this time, Wang Feng was slightly stunned. Wait, you mean it can take the initiative to become my spirit ring? But let me protect this cub. Wang Feng couldn't help but look at this Ice King Lizard. At exactly this time, the eyes of the Binjia Emperor Lizard also looked at him. Interesting. The true strength of the Icea Emperor Lizard at this time should have been reduced, perhaps only for about 9,000 years, but it is still a 10,000-year soul beast. It seems that it is the best situation, he thinks now. Wang Feng didn't expect this to be the case. He thought it would be the best result to be able to retreat, but I never thought that this Ice King Lizard would choose to do this. You said, it is very grateful to me. It has eaten a lot of humans, but it is really because of these human supplements that it has been continuously supplemented for several years, so that it can alleviate the pain of the young. In fact, it will die sooner or later. Wang Feng repeated the message passed by Xingyue fox. Dying in the hands of other humans, it is better to become my spirit ring now. At least, this human being, I have saved its children. After listening, Wang Feng was silent. Yeah, it will die sooner or later. The hunting forest is for the soul master, will not die in his hands, and will die in the hands of others. It is good. Wang Feng did not hesitate for long, but replied lightly, your child, I will protect it. A spirit beast that actively displays a spirit ring is much easier to absorb than a spirit ring obtained after hunting it. It can be said that there is no better choice than this. After hearing what Wang Feng said, Yu reading www.uukangshu.com. The Ice King Lizard roared, as if conveying some kind of news to the cub. After that, a light black spirit ring slowly rose from its body. The eyes of the Binjia Emperor Lizard also slowly closed. Looking at this extraordinary black spirit ring, Wang Feng's eyes were quite complicated. However, before the absorption, Wang Feng directly used Red Lotus. This time without any worries, urging the flame of the Red Lotus Terrace to fall on Lin Shan in the distance. Boom. This time, Lin Shan burned all over her body a little slower than the old servant, but in less than 10 seconds, Lin Shan was gone. This makes Wang Feng feel quite strange. Ashes, not a single grain. Karma Fire Red Lotus, its flame, although unavoidable, seems to be different. Seeing this scene, Wang Feng didn't have any expressions. I thought that I would come with this Lin Shan to find a suitable 1000-year spirit ring and then kill her. Unexpectedly, what I encountered was a 1000-year spirit beast. I didn't even expect that in the end, I would get a 10,000-year spirit ring. Although it is a bit thrilling, how can one not experience some thrills if you want to obtain such a 10,000-year spirit ring that is not dangerous to you? If I followed Lin Shan by myself, I'm afraid there is no such a good opportunity. Opportunities often just pass by. If you don't seize it, it's gone. A flame without temperature. Wang Feng looked at the red lotus in the center of his palm, and then at the pale black spirit ring, with emotion in his eyes. It's time to absorb the 10,000-year spirit ring. This absorption should be much easier. I didn't expect that my second spirit ring would be 10,000 years old. This time I still rely on this red lotus, otherwise. Chapter 57, The Terrifying Second Spirit Ability, Frozen Flame Fury Lotus. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Feng sat on the spot with the red lotus blooming in his hand, pulling the pale black spirit ring slowly into his body. Xingyue Fox looked at Wang Feng curiously. This is the second time it has seen this lifesaver and has absorbed the spirit ring. For the first time, he almost died, and his whole body was almost shattered by the power of the Golden Thunder Leopard. And this time, it is the power of the 10,000 years soul beast. Can he bear it? The pale black spirit ring shrouded Wang Feng's body, and huge energy poured into Wang Feng's body. However, this time, a smile appeared on the corner of Wang Feng's mouth. Last time, the spirit ring of the 6,000-year-old Golden Light Leopard, the energy that poured in was violent, manic, and full of resentment, and it was full of destructiveness. Is more out of control. Almost as soon as he entered the body, Wang Feng's body quickly disintegrated and shattered. This time, is completely different. The Binjia Emperor Lizard does not have any grievances towards him, or even gratitude, so although the energy flowing into the spirit ring is also full of destructiveness, it is not violent and manic. The most important thing is that I control it. Wang Feng thought in his heart, is not controlled by oneself, the difference is too big. He thought of the sacrifice of soul beasts, but obviously, this was not a sacrifice of soul beasts, and the strength of this Ice King Lizard was also far from being absorbed. But, you can control this energy. The energy poured in from the black spirit ring was directly controlled by Wang Feng and entered Qinglian in the sea of consciousness almost as soon as it entered Wang Feng's body. The second lotus seed in the center of the green lotus platform bloomed into a red lotus, and the huge sea-like energy poured into the red lotus. In an instant, the red lotus began to grow rapidly, the petals began to swell, and the body began to grow. It was only the size of a palm. With the influx of energy, it quickly expanded and bloomed. Like an awakening, it has become a brighter, clearer, more vivid red lotus. Immediately afterwards, the red lotus petals were slowly covered with a layer of ice, adding a dreamlike ice crystal color to it like an ornament, but the lotus leaf lotus is scarlet again, reflecting ice crystals, shining with scarlet light, very dazzling, but full of explosive power. Seems to put a coat of ice crystals on the red lotus. Is like a scarlet flame again, covered in a layer of ice, sealing the terrifying power in that flame. As the red lotus had absorbed it, there was still a part of the power in the spirit ring at this time. Wang Feng controls this part, wandering around his body, and finally gathers his heart. Although it is still extremely painful, it is much better than before, that violent and uncontrolled, the first spirit ring that rushed through the body. Moreover, being able to control means that Wang Feng can control this 10,000-year spirit ring, enter the body's heart, and enter the Meteor Tears, purify this soul power for your own use. The constant flow of energy, under Wang Feng's control, went into the falling stars and tears in Wang Feng's heart in the frenzied spirit ring. A stream of quintessential soul power is compressed and purified from the Meteor Tears, and then extracted. The energy that resembles the rising tide of a big river is still continuous. If this energy is not controlled, I am afraid that Wang Feng would have blew himself up at this moment. Even if he could be controlled without falling stars and tears, Wang Feng would not be able to withstand the power brought by the 10,000-year spirit ring. It can be said that if it had not been absorbed this time, if the Ice Emperor Lizard was willing to become his own spirit ring, there was not a trace of resentment in this energy, let alone any influence on his own spirit, so that he could control this energy calmly. I have no chance to absorb it at all. Even if there are Meteor Tears, I am afraid it will not work. Because the huge energy brought by the 10,000-year spirit ring could instantly explode his body and consciousness, the Meteor Tears did not have time to recast the body. After a long time, Wang Feng opened his eyes, and the rainbow light burst in his eyes. 2 spirit rings slowly rose from him, one purple, one black. The soul power level is estimated to reach 23. Wang Feng took a deep breath. These 3 levels, if you follow the normal speed, I am afraid it will take at least half a year before you can reach it. The energy of the 10,000-year spirit ring is mostly used for the promotion of Red Lotus to solve the bottleneck of cultivation, while a small part is compressed and purified by Meteor Tears. Even this small part, if it were normal, it would be enough for an ordinary spirit master to rush from level 20 to level 30, and then explode and die, but for Wang Feng, the compression and purification of soul power only improved by 3 levels. It seems that in 5 years, I should be able to reach level 30. Moreover, I now have a 10,000-year spirit ring, which meets the requirements for punching in Shrek Academy. A hint of joy surged across Wang Feng's face. You don't need to worry about the 3rd spirit ring. Feel the explosive energy in the body. The body has become lighter again, and it seems that the physical fitness has also improved. Although it is not the same as the first time, the body is recast and improved. But the improvement is also obvious. Because his body is still carrying heavy protective gear, Wang Feng feels more clearly. If I am now, after deifying myself, I can easily crush that 6,000-year-old golden thunder leopard. Wang Feng shook his hands, facing a 10,000-year-old soul beast. I can also have the power to fight. Even if I can't fight, I can retreat with my whole body. When I reach level 30, I should have a chance to defeat a 10,000-year-old soul beast. You must know that a 10,000-year-old soul beast is equivalent to a human soul emperor at the 61 level. If Wang Feng now faces the 40-odd soul sect before, even if he doesn't use Red Lotus, Wang Feng can also approach him and kill him at the moment when the opponent should make a move. Will never give the opponent the opportunity to use soul skills. The remaining 7 levels, level 1 is more difficult than level 1. Moreover, the level 3 that has been improved in just a half day also needs to be stabilized. Wang Feng thought, his palms spread out, an ice crystal red lotus bloomed. This red lotus is obviously much more beautiful than before absorbing the spirit ring. The lotus petals are covered with ice crystals, reflecting the bright red and full lotus petals inside. The combination of ice and fire is full of contradictions and magnificence. Let me try, your power. Wang Feng stood up, while lying next to him, the sleeping Xingyue fox rubbed his distressed eyes, looked at Wang Feng, and yelled a few times. The young Binjia Emperor Lizard who was about 2 meters away also opened his sleeping eyes from the ground on which he was crawling, and looked at Wang Feng blankly. In his eyes, there was still some sadness that had not disappeared. Wang Feng said to the 2 soul beasts, "You 2 little guys, step back." Xingyue Fox obediently took the cubs of the Ice Emperor Lizard and retreated back. After Wang Feng finished speaking, he ignored the 2 spirit beasts for the time being. Instead, he jumped tens of meters high from the big tree on the side with a little toe. Immediately afterwards, Wang Feng urged the red lotus in his hand, took a piece of ice crystal and wrapped it into petals, and entered his soul power into it. The petals of the golden lotus are deified soul skills, which can increase the full range of double multiplication, with lightning paralysis attacks, and this red lotus, Wang Feng felt the terrifying power of this. Go with, Wang Feng will pick a piece of red lotus petals. After reading www.yuukangshu.com input half of his soul power at this time, he threw it directly forward. The bright lotus petals wrapped in ice crystals are in mid-air, and under the sun that has already risen at this time, bursts of weird rays are glowing. Blast! Wang Feng seemed to be able to feel the terrifying power in the petals, and his thoughts moved. Next moment, the ice crystal shattered. A terrifying flame exploded from the ice crystal. Boom! Within 100 meters. The two horrible energies of ice and fire swept through everything. The large range makes Wang Feng not spared. Wherever he went, everything turned to ashes. Then, it was covered with thick ice. All the big trees within about 200 meters in diameter were almost quickly melted into ashes by the flame. There was even a pothole on the ground. Wang Feng's clothes all over his body were burnt to the point. His body was also covered with a thick layer of ice, and countless ice blasts shot towards his body, making a ping-pong-pong sound. After a moment, Wang Feng looked at the scene in front of him, and suddenly he couldn't stop his tongue. This second spirit ability is a super wide range of group attack skills, and, it seems, the power is a bit big. This power, defense-type spirit war masters below level 40, have to say goodbye. Wang Feng took out a set of clothes from the soul guide, put it on his body, looked at the raised ground. His eyes were a little shocked, staring at the ice crystal red lotus in his hand. Wang Feng secretly said, "If I detonate all the lotus petals and the whole red lotus, I'm afraid." Wang Feng shook his head, thinking. This second spirit ability, why should it be called Ice Flame Fury Lotus? Chapter 59, I'm afraid one punch will knock you down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mubai turned around and looked at a boy. He was standing at the door at this time, leaning lazily on the edge of the threshold. Even with Mubai's eyes, he couldn't help but praised secretly. What a handsome boy! That he was extremely confident about his appearance and figure, but when he saw the boy at the door at this moment, most of his confidence was lost in an instant. I saw that the boy was wearing a black outfit with a very special material. Even Mubai couldn't see the quality. He also wore a dark green windbreaker outside, with his cuffs rolled up, his hands in his pockets, and his feet. Wearing a pair of sergeant riding boots, with his feet crossed on the ground, it seemed that he had been here for a while. Looking at the same age as me. Mubai frowned. This boy is about 1.75 meters, taller than the two kids. His black hair is not long and messy, but it does not give people a messy and dirty feeling. It only gives people a feeling of laziness, but it was not until Mubai saw the other party's face that he felt that, this boy is definitely not a lazy person, because this boy's eyebrows have a sharp aura, especially those dark pupils, which are like deep-sea whirlpools, which can be immersed in it. The perfect facial features are on the angular face. Kind of just right, the feeling of reaching the peak in seconds. So hot, that the guests in the hall couldn't help but let out a soft exclamation, as if they were also attracted by Xiao Wu's suddenness, especially the two twins who followed Mubai. They were even more colorful. Damn! Mubai couldn't help but look at the boy at the door, and he couldn't help but feel more warlike. After hearing Xiao Wu's cry, the boy took his hands out of his pockets and walked over with a faint smile on his face. Are you there, big brother? Mubai asked, do you want to fight me too? Brother Feng, beat him. Xiao Wu waved his fist at Mubai, was held by Tang San on the side. This person is very strong. At this moment, we can't defeat it if we join hands. Tang San frowned. There is no need for Brother Feng to take risks. 5 years ago, Brother Feng has also grown up a lot. Tang San looked at the figure walking in the distance, waves in his heart. In the past 5 years, Xiao Wu and herself often get together with Feng Gu, but Feng Ji's strength has always been a mystery. There is no doubt that Feng Ji's strength has not declined. In the past 5 years, this has also shocked the teacher. Obviously, Feng Gu was not because of the 1,000-year spirit ring, but as the master expected, his spirit power was reduced, and his strength was greatly reduced. Finally, everyone was wiped out, and Feng Ji's vitality even more vigorous, although I am not sure. Tang San cultivated the Xuanhuan's authentic Shantian skill, slightly sensing that Feng Ji's vitality was extremely strong and vigorous. However, Xiao Wu and I have never seen Brother Feng use spirit power again. Even in every battle in the past 5 years, Brother Feng did not use spirit power. Tang San secretly said, at this point, the teacher himself is also extremely curious. Teacher also doesn't know, nor can he guess how high Feng Ji's spirit power level is. Even, the teacher said that Xiao Feng, a child, may be in existence that he has never understood in his entire life. Xiao Feng's existence may violate many common sense in the spirit master world. What are you afraid of? Xiao Wu laughed and said, third brother, in the past 5 years, have we ever beaten Brother Feng once? Tang San lowered his head and said thoughtfully, it seems that once. Is there? Why don't I remember? Xiao Wu asked in surprise. Ahem. Tang San coughed a few times. You forgot, you used to shame once, in order to make Feng Ge surrender, dragged me to roll on the ground, just can't get up. Before Tang San finished speaking, Xiao Wu covered his mouth and looked at him blushingly. Shut up. Xiao Wu snorted, that's what you want to do. It's the third brother you want to win too much. I don't have it. It's not me. Don't talk nonsense. Tang San couldn't help but glanced at Xiao Wu with a wry smile. Well, I did it. He. Xiao Wu just showed a smile and said, the two of us can't beat Brother Feng, but I feel that Brother Feng is definitely stronger than this lustful guy. After speaking, Xiao Wu waved at the man in the distance again. Tang San was slightly silent. Actually, his mind is more delicate. Tang San had a faint feeling, every time Feng Ge played against them, maybe, only half of his strength was not reached. Also, Feng Ji's spirit power and spirit ring are all mysteries now. Xiao Wu once asked Feng Ge about his spirit power and spirit ring, but Feng Ge just laughed and said nothing. What's more terrifying is that Brother Feng's understanding of soul beasts seems to be no less than that of his teacher. You must know that your second spirit ring, Guidong, was intercepted by Feng Ge in the 2nd year. At that time, I was only at level 20. This ghost vine was an extremely terrifying plant soul beast for more than 700 years. It has a very strong neurotoxin. When it attacks, it will emit a kind of seed that parasitizes on the human body. It is very difficult to be able to transmit this neurotoxin and absorb nutrients. At that time, the master originally wanted the Dean of Nodding College, a 40-level artifact soul sect, to help him hunt down ghost vines that were about 600 years old. Feng directly took him into the hunting forest, accurately found a ghost, and then divided the ghost vines that had been more than 700 years old. Within a few minutes, I was dumbfounded. Later, Feng Ge asked again, Xiao San, this ghost is too weak. It has only been more than 700 years, or try it for a whole 1,000 years. Tang San remembered that he was almost scared to death at the time, so he refused. Just kidding, the teacher said that the limit of the second spirit ring is only 700 years, this ghost vine is already the best. If it's 1,000 years, wouldn't you be afraid of death? Thinking of this, Tang San couldn't help sighing. At this moment, the boy walked up to Mubai, and looked at him curiously. Are you Mubai? Mubai was covered by the boy's gaze, and he could not help but said indifferently, I am Mubai. Why, are you really planning to fight me? Fight with you? The boy couldn't help but laughed. Farewell, I'm afraid of punching you on the ground. His understatement made Mubai's heart pound with anger. Xiao Wu and Tang San in the distance couldn't help but smile. www.novelmtl.com. Hahaha, it really was Feng Ge. Xiao Wu smiled, always more arrogant than others. Then I want to see, how can you beat me down with a punch? Mubai forcibly stopped the anger in his heart, his dignified eyes white tiger, the boss of Shrek Academy. Is it the first time someone dared to say this to him so arrogantly? Boy, I am very angry now, tell me your name and level. Mubai looked at the boy in front of him with a gloomy expression. The aura on his body has become more and more vigorous, and his body exudes this strong aura, which surrounds him. My name is Wang Feng. As for the level, if you can take a punch from me, I will tell you, that the boy who claimed to be Wang Feng pulled out a hand from his pocket. Good, good, Dai Mubai clenched his fists, and the vigor around him slowly revolved around him to condense. The surging power seems to be substantive. Suddenly, Dai Mubai's legs were like springs, leaping high, his whole body surged, like a tiger leaping across the mountains and forests, sending a fatal blow to the prey in the distance. The red light in his eyes is more bloodthirsty, sending out an incomparable breath. Dai Mubai was enveloped in a faint golden light, punching like a tiger's palm, like a comet landing, blasted towards Wang Feng. The spirit of hunting wildly blows the hunting noise in the hall, and the chandelier on the ceiling is also wavering. Looking at this punch, the complexions on Tang San and Xiao Wu's faces didn't need to be dignified, and they naturally felt that Dai Mubai at this time, under the anger in his heart, might have to add a little more strength. However, in the face of this punch, Wang Feng just stood there, breathed, and slammed out with an ordinary punch. Chapter 60, He. 12 years old. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dai Mubai seemed to be irritated by Wang Feng's careless appearance, and the power of the violent Bai Hu martial spirit was added to this punch, smashed into each other, and suddenly, Dai Mubai's expression changed drastically, and he felt that the punch was on a mountain peak. Actually made him have no confidence to shake. Then there was a huge force far beyond one's imagination, coming from the opponent's fist. The terrifying power spread from the arm to the whole body. Dai Mubai flew upside down instantly. A cloud of energy exploded in the air. Boom! As if a baseball had been knocked into the air, Dai Mubai's body directly broke a stone pillar in the hall, and then he barely landed on the ground. He slid back several meters before he was able to hold it steady. A long crack was pulled out. Dai Mubai propped his knees on the ground, with one hand on the ground, his whole body was shaking, as if he would get down at any time. The air is very quiet. I only saw the other side, but Wang Feng didn't move a bit, just waved his hand. It's okay. I just used a little bit more strength. Wang Feng waved at Dai Mubai. Actually, Wang Feng just used a lot of power. At least 50% to 60% of the power was used. I said this naturally to pretend to be. Life doesn't pretend to be forceful, life is meaningless. While watching this scene from the side, the trembling people were really scared and looked at Wang Feng with amazement. Tang San and Xiao Wu also looked at Wang Feng with their mouths slightly long. Fight for strength. Feng Gu has never lost anyone. Tang San secretly said. Seeing this scene, Tang San couldn't help thinking of the time when Feng Gu first fought with himself. This is too strong. Xiao Wu opened her mouth. When we were fighting with Brother Feng, we have never seen Brother Feng use such a powerful force. After finishing speaking, Xiao Wu tilted her head to look at Dai Mubai, and muttered in a low voice, this guy is a silver spearhead. It doesn't work. The 1000-year spirit ability just now was just a bluff. That when Dai Mubai in the distance heard this, the corners of his mouth twitched fiercely. What kind of silver spear tip? Xiao Wu, what are you saying? Tang San glared at Xiao Wu. Hey, I'm the boss of Nodding College, so naturally I know everything. Xiao Wu said triumphantly. Tang San sighed and said, no, Dai Mubai's strength can't be wrong. Brother Feng should have said that on purpose. He should have used a lot of power, but he didn't expect Brother Feng to still want it is stronger than this 37th level Soul Sovereign. The punch just now was twice as strong as his usual, and even stronger. Xiao Wu pouted. At this time, Dai Mubai stood up slowly. His legs seemed to have happened, but he was not injured. You win. Dai Mubai looked at Wang Feng and said in a deep voice, it's not that Dai Mubai can't afford to lose, but this room was originally booked by me. Manager Wang, just give it to them. I don't want it anyway. The hall is damaged. I'll just pay for things. Manager Wang in the distance nodded only consensually. Your name is Wang Feng. Dai Mubai changed all over, but his clothes were a little torn. He waved at the twin sisters in the distance, looked at Wang Feng and said, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't use martial spirit. With yours. Spirit power. And spirit ring. What do you mean? Wang Feng glanced at the two twins and couldn't help but secretly said that Dai Mubai was really romantic. That's interesting. Dai Mubai put his hands on the shoulders of the two twins, rubbing gently, as if using the beauty's jade muscle to relieve the physical pain at this time. Looking at you, you should be about the same age as me. Maybe, older than me. Dai Mubai looked at Wang Feng several times, and suddenly noticed that the two twins beside him were also staring at Wang Feng. He couldn't help but press his hands, pressing the two twins into a baby, and quickly retracted his eyes. Ma Dan, in my arms, still looking at other men with relish? At this age, without soul power, I can barely beat me with one punch. I have never seen it. Very powerful. Dai Mubai smiled lightly. However, don't worry, we still have a chance to see you again. As for your two friends, should they come to Shrek Academy? They are only about 12 years old. There will be a period later. After finishing speaking, Dai Mubai hugged the two twin beauties and walked toward the door gracefully. Can hear this, Xiaowu can't help standing up and saying loudly. Hey, you stinky tiger, don't you have to face it? Was that reluctant just now? Brother Feng just punched you casually and almost beat you down, okay? Also, don't put gold on your face. What does it mean to be about the same age as you? Brother Feng is at most 12 years old, more than 3 years old. Brother 2 or 3 months. Are you 2 years younger than you? Are you embarrassed? That she just finished speaking. Dai Mubai, who walked to the door, staggered and almost tripped by the door. He turned around and glanced at Wang Feng. His eyes were a little shocked. What the is this? You told me this guy is 12 years old. Dai Mubai looked at Wang Feng and swallowed. The guy named Tang San just now was good enough. He was at that age, but he didn't have the 29th grade. Now their eldest brother, teasing me. Dai Mubai estimated in his heart that the strength of the two men, Fenggu, should be at least level 40 and possessing an extremely rare power-type beast spirit, so that he could transform himself into the White Tiger King Kong with a single punch. State easily defeated. You tell me now, he is 12 years old. I slipped. Dai Mubai secretly said in his heart, this year's Shrek monsters seem to be a little bit too much. Seeing Dai Mubai disappearing to the door quickly, Xiaowu stamped her feet with anger. What, this guy? Xiaowu curiously asked, but how does he know that we are here at Shrek Academy? After speaking, Xiaowu murmured a few words and pulled Tang San in front of Wang Feng. Brother Feng, why are you here? Xiaowu said with a smile, did you come early? Watching the show? Yes, I did come early. Wang Feng nodded, watching Tang San and Dai Mubai fighting. Of course he came. Tang San and Xiaowu told him that they would come to Soto City today, and Tang San and Dai Mubai's first battle, he naturally saw it too. But he didn't step in, just watched it quietly. That Dai Mubai, isn't he from Shrek Academy, right? Tang San suddenly said, he is only 15 years old, and he has reached the 37th level of Soul Venerable, and I have seen the most powerful kind of martial arts so far. I rarely hear other intermediate academies with such powerful people. Wang Feng nodded. Xiao San is as smart as ever. Brother Feng, are you getting stronger again? Xiao Wu's eyes turned and narrowed. Why don't I fight with you again? We don't have a match for some days. Hearing this, Wang Feng hadn't spoken yet. The manager Wang of the hotel beside him hurried over, looked at the messy hall around him, and said with a wry smile. 3 soul masters, let go of the shop today, right? If we continue to fight like this, how about we demolish the hotel? That's right, Xiao Wu, let them go. Wang Feng also laughed twice. You guys, hurry up and rest. The Red Rose is a good place. I want to rest too, and come all the way. I am a little tired. We will go to Shrek Academy together tomorrow. In the past 5 years, the three have played enough times. Even when he returned to Xuanhuan village, Wang Feng and Tang San really fought hard several times. Hard hit means to let Tang San add the various hidden weapons he made together. Although it is dangerous, it actually hit several times. Xiao Wu, a clever ghost, sometimes gets abused too much, so he drags Tang San together. Wang Feng doesn't want to fight anymore. Xiaowu pouted her lips, and had to drag Tang San to walk upstairs. Seeing this, Wang Feng shook his head and said to Manager Wang next to him, I also booked a room here, the room number is White Innocent. Take me up. Upon hearing this, Manager Wang checked and nodded. At this time, a woman suddenly appeared at the door. She walked in and took a look around the hall, her eyebrows frowned, as if she was curious about what happened in this place. Then, the girl walked forward and looked at the price list on the counter. Yu reading www.uukangshu.com said. Manager, do you have a room? I want a White Innocence. The girl is soft and beautiful, with a sense of heroism. She is wearing a white long dress, her ears-length hair and short hair. She is well proportioned with a young girl's youth, and her skin is white as snow, but there is a sense of pride hidden in her eyebrows, which is difficult for ordinary people to notice. Sorry, the last room of this special room like White Innocence has already been reserved by this gentleman. Manager Wang looked at the girl who was dressed in extraordinary fashion and didn't dare to neglect, and looked at Wang Feng. Reserved, but the girl in the white skirt looked at Wang Feng. After seeing Wang Feng's appearance, her eyes brightened slightly, and her voice was soft again and said, Then, this friend, can you give me this room? Her voice is very soft, her looks are exquisite, her temperament is sweet and pure, and ordinary men are afraid that they will not bear to refuse. Wang Feng fixedly looked at the girl a few times and said, Excuse me, I don't have the habit of making people room, would you like to choose something else? That was rejected. The girl in the white skirt was stunned, she seemed to be a little surprised. She would be rejected? She frowned, looking at this extremely handsome boy. The good feeling in her heart made her suppress the discomfort of rejection in her heart, and continued. Well then, I'll give you 50 golden soul coins, will you give me this room? Is this the head office? This time, although her tone is still gentle, but she has a little pride in her tone, said. The girl also took out a bag from her pocket, heavy. Wang Feng was overjoyed when he heard this. He said, Why don't I give you 100 gold soul coins and you go out from here? As soon as S words came out, the girl's face suddenly changed.